Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Product strategy and product development. Chapter number 8, part 1. Learning objectives are 1. Differentiate between business to business and business to consumer product strategy. Number 2. Understand the product life cycle and how it applies to B2B and global markets. And lastly, number 3. Describe the definition of innovation process. Introduction. No market remains the same forever. Marketing managers are always looking for new and better ways of doing things to generate satisfaction for their customers and increase return to their shareholders. Competitors lurk in every market, trying to think of more attractive products and services. All of this means a firm must generate in All of this means a firm must engage in a formal new product development process. The firm needs to develop an overall product strategy and then manage a process which will keep its offering as attractive as possible to customers. Product defined. Product can be defined as an offering of the firm which satisfies customer needs, a bundle of benefits, core benefits plus brand name, design, country of origin, price, and packaging. All these factors contribute to the definition of product. The total product. The total product has three parts. That means support service, delivery, installation, warranty, after sales service, etc. Product attributes, brand, design, country of origin, price, packaging, and core product benefits, features, functions, benefits, value to customer. The product strategy of a firm relates to making decision about the features, quality, and entire offering shown in figure 8.1. In addition, product strategy involves developing a rational relationship between and among product offering. The total product. For instance, an office furniture product manager must decide upon the features, functions, and benefits of a particular seating line, the quality level which will affect the pricing, and all of the ancillary items under his control, including packaging, design, country of origin, delivery, installation, warranty, and after-sales services. So it means the total product contains support services, product attributes, core product, and benefits. Trade-offs in launching new products. New product idea. When a manager has developed a new product idea for launching, it can have three choices. Launch choice 1, launch under Steelcase brand. This would help the new product but may cause damage to the Steelcase brand if the new product fails in any way. Steelcase is a very renowned brand name in furniture business. Launch choice 2, launch under new brand. This would protect the Steelcase brand but means extra expenditure and efforts to establish the new brand name. Launch choice 3, sell to retailers using their brand name. This minimizes expenditure and also protects the Steelcase brand but means accepting minimal profits. Trade-offs in launching new products. The issues involved in this type of trade-off are complex since marketing manager is unable to predict the future accurately. The balance between investment and risk is always a difficult one for managers since there are few ways to obtain a high return without taking some risk. On the other hand, taking risk does not of itself generate high returns. Trade-offs in launching new product. Usually, these conflicts are resolved by internal negotiation between marketing and other functional managers within the firm. In deciding upon entire product offering, The manager must distinguish between an individual product which has a unique set of attributes as seen in figure 8.1, a product line which is a group of these individual products which are related to one another, and the overall product assortment which is all of the product lines together. Product life cycle. The product life cycle dictates a firm engages in a dedicated product development process. The product life cycle posits that there are four major stages through which most industries advance. The first is introduction, marked by startup sales growth. Generally, in this stage, a firm is spending more on producing and marketing the product than it is receiving the revenue from sales. In the growth stage, the product begins to be accepted and sales climb with a consequent improvement in relationship between revenue and expenditure. Product life cycle. The initial investment in developing product and preparing to produce it has probably been met, and the firm should begin to see a positive return on the investment. The longest period is the maturity stage, in which sales begin to level off since penetration in the market is high. Even though sales level off so that revenue remains fairly constant, profits can continue to rise throughout the stage depending upon competitive pressure and efficiencies in firm may realize. Product life cycle. The maturity stage is the point at which investment really pays off. Expenditure on marketing is usually relatively low as a percentage of the revenue received, and the initial startup investment should have been recouped. The final stage is decline, in which sales of the product gradually fall off as it is supplanted by some newer solution. Here profits may continue to be positive even though sales revenue may be decreased sharply. Eventually the product will cease to be viable as competing products enter the market or as new versions of the product are produced by the firm. Let's look at product life cycle figure again, which is showing the introduction, growth, maturity and decline stage with the passage of time. Product life cycle and marketing strategies. The variables which are used in the marketing strategy for the product life cycle are product, price, place, promotion, people, process, physical evidence, overall objective. In short, I want to tell you that the overall objective of the firm in the introduction stage is to create awareness and triability of the product. So it means the company has to introduce basic little choices for the product in the introduction stage. It can use the pricing strategy for pricing strategy as skimming or penetration. The company has to build distribution channels in the introduction stage. In the promotion, company needs to build primary demand and the people potentially an important differentiator in the early missionary phase of the launch. It means the customer should be able to differentiate the product in the introduction stage. Process, many teething problems, likely many problems can occur. Company has to resolve those problems. And physical evidence, extremely important in reassuring customers. What can be the marketing strategy in growth phase for the product? Some extension services must be introduced in the growth stage. Company has to meet the competition for the sake of price. And in place, they continue to build channels. It means when the product is at the growth stage, company still needs to build for the channels. And for the promotion, begin to build selective demand for the product. And I would say that the overall objective means maximize market share or return on investment. What can be the marketing strategy at the maturity? At the maturity, company has to offer many offerings, serving many segments, and for the price meet competition with the specific deals. For the place move toward intensive distribution, and for the promotion, company has to persuade and remind, and company has to stress differences between brands, and overall objective means hold market share and maximize profits. What can be the marketing strategy that decline? For the product, for few competitors, it means company has to introduce products only for few competitors. And price high or low demanding, high or low depending on the competition. Selective or direct sales can be used for the distribution, reduced to necessary minimum promotion. And the overall objective can be such as reduce cost, maximize remaining sales and profits. Product life cycle of iPhone, which is visible in this figure. It means that iPhone has introduced its products across different countries, but you can see the product life cycle in the international market. In the global market it is different. In Kenya, iPhone is at growth, while in Europe it was at maturity, in US it was at maturity. And you can see that the iPhone has introduced its product in different markets, and the product life cycle of iPhone varies in those markets. Diffusion of innovation. Diffusion of innovation. The product life cycle is based upon findings by Roger 1962, which showed that innovation moved through the markets in an orderly manner. Customers can be classified according to their willingness to accept the new ideas. These firms can generally be classified. These firms can generally be classified following Rogers as follows. Innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggards. Innovator means firms that are the first ones to try new product or services, while early adopters are after the innovators. These companies will also try it. Early majority firms who will buy the product once it is roughly tried and tested, while late majority firms who do not wish to try new services or products. Laggards, those who would adopt the product only under duress and not adopt at all. Attributes that affect acceptability. Roger identified attributes of innovation which affect the speed of their acceptance. So these attributes are such as relative advantage, comparability, complexity, triability, observability. What is relative advantage? Relative advantage is the perception that idea is better than the one it supersedes, while comparability is consistency with existing values, past experience, and the needs of a firm's buyers and influencers. Complexity, more complex ideas are adopted more slowly. It means the new product must have low complexity. Triability, if a firm can try out a small aspect of a new idea, it will be accepted more quickly than if a firm has to make a major switch. For instance, triability of a new company-wide computer system would be extremely low, and therefore acceptance would be very slow. Observability, if the effects of an innovation can be easily seen, this innovation may be adopted more quickly. Competitive advantage factors. Competitive advantage factors competitive advantage depends upon these following factors: project environment, skills and resources, project leadership, strategic fit, efficient new product development process, effective product positioning strategies. Let's discuss these factors, competitive advantage factors, one by one. Competitive advantage factor, the first one is project environment. It means that creating an atmosphere of innovation and a culture of change will foster new product, will foster new development. Skills and resources, firms which can make full use of skills of their employees and the research facilities at their disposal will produce more effective new products. While project leadership means the ability to motivate staff to give their best and to direct the process effectively is crucial to successful completion of any project. Strategic fit. New products which have a good fit with the overall strategy of the firm will have more chance of success than those which lie outside the firm's strategic direction. Efficient new product development process. If the company has set up systems for new product development, the results are likely to be a great deal better than they would be if new product development is left as an ad hoc activity. Effective product positioning strategies, ensuring that the new product actually fit into a suitable niche in the market is essential for any market oriented firm. New product development times. When we look at the examples of these big names, Honda, Volvo, Xerox, brother, Apple, AT&T. So all these companies have tried to reduce the development of new product. You can see that Honda from 8 years it has reduced time to 3 years. Exactly, Volvo has reduced time from 7 years to 5.5 years for the development of a new product. Exactly, one can see the examples of other companies. All companies have tried to reduce the new product development time so they can capture the market early. Let's discuss what is a new product. So a new product can be new to the world products, new category increase, additional to product lines. It can be product improvements and can be repositioning. Let's see. What is a new product? New to the world product means there are inventions such as the first automobile or computer. These are very rare. Most new products are in fact simply improvements on existing products. New category entries. Products introduced by firms into a product category where the firm had not been doing business up to this time. While additional to product line means these are line extension in the firm's current market, such as tablet computer introduced by Apple. Product improvements, current products made better in some way. Repositioning, taking a current product and attempting to find a new use of it, although not a B2B example, but most famous example of this is Arm & Hammer baking soda, which was repositioned many times as a refrigerator deodorant or carpet cleaner. Summary. So in this session we have discussed a product is a bundle of benefits. The product life cycle is the reason firms must innovate. Portfolio policy concerns the number of products and product lines to be introduced. Products may be in different life cycle stages in different countries. Thank you. That's all for the session 1. Thank you.